Blog Talk Radio.
Stainless, stainless, skill, skill, stainless, stainless, skill, skill, stainless, stainless, skill, skill, stainless, stainless.
What's good, what's good, what's good? It's that time of the week, Football Friday. And we're going to talk about can the Ravens beat the Patriots once again. Can Cam Newton finally, in his career, beat the Seahawks? Do the Colts even stand a chance against Denver? And how will Aaron Rodgers' cap hold up against the Cowboys? Bowden, happy Football Friday. What's good?
What's good, world?
And again, if you want to, follow us, add on to the conversation, man, you can hit us up at 347-826-7068. Again, number is 347-826-7068. Also, too, if you want to chat with us online, you can go to Blog Talk Radio /Inspectah M.Bowden, and you can chat with us on the website as well if you have any questions or you just want to rap about the conversations that we're talking today. So on this Football Friday, the NFL announced yesterday their semifinalists for the Hall of Fame. And so I'm about to, pretty much break down who the semifinalists are, and then Bowden and I will talk about, who we feel should go in, who shouldn't go in, and who we think will go in. So the NFL announced their semifinalists. The finalists, who they'll vote to go in, we'll find out on Saturday, January 31st. The NFL announced who will be going to the Hall of Fame for 2015. So here are the finalists. We'll go over if they should go in or if they should go in or they should not go in. And again, if you want to talk about who you think should go to the Hall of Fame this year, you can call the number 347-826-7068, or you can chat with us online. So, here are the semifinalists for the 2015 class of the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Number one, Morton Anderson. He was a longtime kicker. He played in the NFL 25 years, from 1982 to 2007. Morton Anderson is the leading scorer in NFL history. He topped over 100 points 14 times in his 25-year career. He scored at least 90 points 22 times in his 25-year career. Morton Anderson played for 1 million teams in his career. He was more famous for playing for the Atlanta Falcons. As a matter of fact, he kicked that game-winning kick in the NFC Championship game in 1998 that sent the Falcons to Super Bowl 33. So I know you're a Falcon fan. You think Morton Anderson should go and become the second kicker to make the Hall of Fame.
Sure enough.
Now, the argument, though, is that, he's a kicker. And as we know, man, kickers really don't do much. I know he did a lot for the Falcons back in the day. But you really think a kicker belongs in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, kicker is a game changer, man. That 1 point winning games, man. Yeah. I mean, he put his time in 1982 to 2007.
Yeah, 25 years.
Yeah, he put him in the Hall of Fame. It's important to have a kicker on the team. Think about it. If the position wasn't that important, they wouldn't have it.
I agree with you, man. I think he should go in only because he is the leading scorer in NFL history. No other player has ever scored as many points as Morton Anderson has in his career. Greg did play 25 years. And I do, man, there's a lot of great kickers in the NFL history. And to me, it's a shame there's only one kicker to ever make the Hall of Fame. Just one. So maybe Morton Anderson this year will be number two. But the argument against kickers for, the beginning of history, as long as the NFL has been around, is that a lot of people feel like kickers aren't athletes and that they're not real football players. And so because of that, they don't feel like he should get in.
Let me break it down to you. Now, that defensive line is something serious, especially certain teams that just scrape blitz. Now, scrape blitz. Now, you trying to kick this field goal. maybe on the 30 or the 40-yard line, or maybe on the 20 or the, it's pressure on that kicker. If he made one false move, it could win or lose a game. I don't see what all the fuss about. He's part of the team. You understand what I'm saying?
Especially in 1998, man. If it wasn't for him, the Falcons don't go to the Super Bowl that year.
You know what I'm saying? So he's a vital. It's like a sharpshooter. It's just like in the military. You got a sharpshooter. If a sharpshooter don't knock out them heads, how they gonna get all the soldiers to run through the breached enemy lines?
And this is how amazing his career was. So he's the all-time leading scorer in New Orleans Saints history. He played his first 9 years of his career in New Orleans. Excuse me. I'll take that back. First 12 years of his career in New Orleans. Then he played 8 years in Atlanta, and he's also the all-time leading scorer in Atlanta. So he played 12 years in New Orleans, 8 years in Atlanta. He played 1 year in New York, 2 years in Kansas City, 1 year in Minnesota. And he's also a 7-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro kicker. He made all 80s NFL team. He was part of the NFL team of the 80s. He also made the NFL All-90s team. And he holds 13 NFL records for kickers. I said with that alone, with his resume alone, I think you should put him in the Hall of Fame.
Put him in the Hall of Fame. Show enough. Come on in there.
That, man. How many Falcons are even in the Hall of Fame? He might be one of the few Falcons that actually make the Hall of Fame.
Made me kind of think. I'm trying to figure out.
Now you got Deion Sanders. He's more remembered as a Cowboy.
Oh yeah,
maybe a Falcon.
Oh yeah. You right about that. It was slipping my ears on my mind. I was thinking about that. Jamal Anderson didn't enter the Hall of Fame yet, has he?
No, I don't think he'll ever get in because it's unfortunate what happened to him because he got hurt, so he had to retire early. But I don't think his career was long enough to put him in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
All right, moving in, to me, I think it's ridiculous that he's not even in the Hall of Fame yet. But the next semifinalist was, was Jerome Bettis, running back. He had played 13 years in the NFL. He spent 2 years with the Los Angeles Rams, and he spent 11 years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jerome Bettis is the 5th all-time leading rusher in NFL history. Everybody remembers him as the Bus. He won the Super Bowl with the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2005 before he retired. His numbers, speaks for himself. He rushed for in his 13-year career, Jerome Bettis rushed for 1,000 yards 8 times. To me, I think he should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. I think they should put him in this year.
Sure enough.
I mean, as big as he was, man, he was hard to take down. And that boy ran hard. And for the longest time, man, especially, in those Pittsburgh Steelers teams of the 90s and then the 2000s, man, Jerome Bettis, man, he was pretty much the whole entire offense. And he did his thing. And now that for him to be the 5th all-time leading rusher in NFL history, to me, that's an amazing stat. Because, you think a guy as big as he was, you don't think he'd be able to run that fast. And, Bowden, you and I have talked about this before. It wasn't so much he was a fast runner, but he just wear you out because he was so big. And they listen. How many running backs weighs 260 pounds? And you try to tackle that for 4. Yeah, you try to tackle that for 4 quarters, and after they try to tackle that for 3 quarters. Then the 4th quarter, man, they just get tired, just wears them out. Like you said, man, he just busted. And the thing with Jerome Bettis that always got me, man, is that he never really broke out like long run. It'd be like 2 yards there, 3 yards there, 5 yards there, and then by the end of the game, you'd be like, damn, how the hell did he run for 100 yards?
The bus. Yeah, put him on in the Hall of Fame. That way.
So you think he should be a Hall of Famer?
Oh yeah. He went out with a thing. You know?
Here's his stats, man. He was a 6-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro. Obviously, he did win the Super Bowl in 2005. He was the NFL Rookie of the Year in 1993. He was the Comeback Player of the Year in 1996. He is the Pittsburgh Steelers all-time. He made the Pittsburgh Steelers all-time team. The Pittsburgh Steelers no longer use his number 36. They kind of retired his number in Pittsburgh. He's one of the few running backs to hit the 10,000 rushing yard club. And now somebody passed him up, but when he retired, he was 5th all-time. Right now, he's 6th all-time in rushing. So with all that alone, I agree with you, man. I think you should put him in. Yeah, Curtis Martin. Curtis Martin's in the Hall of Fame. So I think you should put Jerome Bettis up in there. And anything you got to say about, the bus?
Put him on in the Hall of Fame. He retired on top. He won the Super Bowl, did his thing. Well deserved. Put him on in the Hall of Fame. Most definitely deserved it.
Yeah, actually, look at his numbers. I don't understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame. The only negative, man, is that he was friends with the former Detroit mayor, Kilpatrick. And you all know how crooked he was. But outside of that, I think you should put the bus in there.
Oh yeah.
All right, who else we got? Next, Tim Brown. Tim Brown played 17 years in the NFL for the L.A. Raiders and Oakland Raiders. He won the 1987 Heisman Trophy when he was in Notre Dame. He has multiple Raiders records for receiving. He has the second highest receiving yards in NFL history at the time of his retirement. He's been passed up since then. And he finished his career with 100 touchdowns. To me, okay, I know you got to cut it down to at least, I think at least 5 players going to get in. And right now there's 15 that made it to the semifinals. So somebody's going to be left off. But just looking at Tim Brown's, career, his numbers, he wasn't the most flashiest wide receiver because you look at, his era back in the, late 80s, early 90s. You think of wide receivers, you think of Jerry Rice is already in the Hall of Fame. Michael Irvin was also in the Hall of Fame. Chris Carter was in the Hall of Fame. Andre Reed. You really don't think about Tim Brown that much. But looking at him statistically, you have to say, man, he belongs in there. So what do you think about Tim Brown?
If he belongs in he belongs in the. So statistically, you got to give him a fair chance.
As a football fan who grew up watching football in the 90s, I mean,
right.
Do you think he deserves to be in there? Because, what do you remember from Tim Brown back then?
In all honesty, I don't really remember. He wasn't as popular, but when you throw out the stats, get a chance. Let him get on in there. Let him.
I think that's the thing that works against his favor, though, is that that's something that he did that's rememberable. He didn't really make an impact. He didn't make the impact that Jerry Rice made. He didn't make the impact that Michael Irvin made. He didn't make the impact that Chris Carter made or Andre Reed. These are his peers. That this is his era. Now, but looking at his numbers, he is a 9-time Pro Bowler. He did make second-team All-Pro in 1997. He did make All-90s Decade Team for the NFL. But, yes, the numbers are there, but he really didn't make an impact. Granted, especially in the 90s, the Raiders weren't all that great. So maybe, you can use that excuse for him. But to me, I have a hard time putting him in because, to me, he didn't make as much of an impact. And to me, there's other wide receivers in that era who are already in the Hall of Fame or deserve to be in the Hall of Fame in the coming years. And even the wide receivers after him that came after his generation, to me, they deserve to be in there, pretty soon when their time is up as well. So for me, it's hard to put Tim Brown in there.
I agree. Certain extent. But I was wondering, they only enter 5 in the Hall of Fame. Only 5.
Okay, well, this is the way it works. All right, there's going to be up to at least. Okay, so as the semifinals is 15. they're going to announce at least the minimum. Okay, the minimum I think is 4. The maximum is probably 8. So out of the 15, at least 4 are going to get in, maybe 5, but the most they can allow is 8. So at least 7 of these people are not going to be able to make it. And obviously we haven't finished looking down at the list, but so far the 3 people we just talked about, I think Tim Brown gets left off. Cause I'll put Jerome Bennett and Morton Anderson over Tim Brown right now.
Okay.
I mean, you agree or disagree?
I agree. Because we ain't even went down the list yet, so I'm not going to agree to anything until we go down that whole list, so I can verify. Cause let's just go down the list and see what's next.
All right, next on the list, and to me this would be hard for both of us to talk about because it's way before our time, but Don Cornell. He was the head coach for the St. Louis Cardinals and the San Diego Chargers during the 70s. He coached from 1973 into 1986. In his career, he did go. His career with St. Louis, he would win 42-27-1 as the head coach, and then he, said, I think he was one of the all-time winningest coaches in San Diego Chargers history as well. He invented the Air Cornell offense in San Diego that just took off as the Chargers, and from when he became the head coach in 1978 up until 1986, the Chargers had 24,000 passing yards, captured a division title 3 times. They made it to the AFC Championship game a couple times. Never went to the Super Bowl, but he's the one that pretty much, I guess you could say, he's the innovator of the passing offense in the NFL, and he's pretty much the way the game is played today with all the all these quarterbacks throwing. People don't even try to run the football half the time. Like everybody wants to throw the football. He was kind of one of the first coaches to do that, to want to throw the football, 40, 50 times a game. So in that, he was the innovator. Again, this is before my time, but from what I'm reading, he did have a huge impact on the game. And a lot of things that he brought to the game back in the 70s, you're still seeing a lot of it today. But as far as the head coach is concerned, again, just looking at the numbers, I don't know if you could put him in, because how can you say he's a great coach when he never won a Super Bowl? Never even went to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, based on that, again, this is before our time. We're talking 70s here. Right. So based on that, how do you feel about him possibly going to the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, you had to think about who was his competition back then. Didn't John Madden coach back then in them times?
Yeah, with the Raiders.
Right. So I would pick John Madden over that guy right there.
Well, John Madden's already in, and so that goes back to the Tim Brown thing, where looking at his generation, and you look at all the coaches that he competed against, do you honestly deserve that he gets in? Because just like with Tim Brown, you look at all the wide receivers in his generation, Tim Brown really didn't make that much of an impact. Statistically, yeah, the numbers are there, but again, what's that significant moment that you can say you can remember from Tim Brown? And Don Coryell, he was a great coach. Yeah, he was an innovator as far as his coaching style, but he didn't win anything. And you look at the coaches of his era, the John Maddens, the Chuck Knowles, the Tom Landrys, they had more success than he did. Now, maybe you could say the reason why he never won a Super Bowl is because, he had tough competition. But looking at his record in the playoffs, he had a losing record, 3-6 in his career in coaching in the playoffs, which is not that great. So, but let's finish. Let me read off the list. I'll just say for right now, both Tim Brown and Don Coryell. I won't say they don't belong in. I'll just leave them as question marks.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Question mark. Gotcha. So the next one.
All right, the next one, man, we got Terrell Davis.
Oh, yeah.
This is a tricky one. Let me finish. All right, Terrell Davis, Denver Broncos running back. He played from 1995 to 2001. He was a 6th-round draft pick. He helped lead the Broncos to back-to-back Super Bowls in 1997 and 1998. He was a 3-time All-Pro selection. He was the 1998 NFL MVP. But again, like we talked about with Jamal Anderson, Terrell Davis, his career was cut short because of injury. He only played 6 years in the NFL. And so the question is, in his 6 years, he did a lot. He won MVP. He was a 3-time All-Pro. He even ran. He's one of the few running backs to run for 2,000 yards in a season. He won 2 Super Bowls. But again, he only played 6 years. So the question is, was his career long enough to put him in the Hall of Fame?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's one of them. That's tricky. It's tricky because who's the judge of that? Like, what is the standard on that? Like, should it be 10 years, at least 10 years, or But in my book, I feel like he deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. For a person to do so much in such short time, that's amazing. That's amazing. He did more than what a person who did in a 10-year career, at least a 15-year career.
Yeah, because he did more. He did a lot in 6 years than most of the dudes. If he didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
But then you look at the other running back. But you look at the other running back was in semifinals in Jerome Bennett. He did play. Jerome Bennett played 13 years. So, of course, because he played longer, Jerome Bennett achieved more. But the question mark with Terrell Davis, as you just pointed out, makes me wonder if he had a longer career, if he didn't get hurt. Could he succeeded as much as Jerome Bennett did, or maybe even surpass what Jerome Bennett did?
Well, you got to understand they played different positions. Jerome Bennett, he was a fullback.
No, Jerome Bennett was a running back, and so was Terrell Davis. They played the same exact position.
Same exact position. Oh, okay. Okay. I always thought Jerome Bennett was more like a full.
Well, because you don't see that many 260-pound running backs.
Yeah.
With a good
power-eyed, didn't he? Power-eyed or wing after wing.
Wing's more college, but he played I formation. It was more of a power back.
Yeah.
But I think Terrell Davis was pretty much the same for what I remember. Remember them Bronco teams from the 90s. And also, too, Terrell Davis, he only played 6 years in the NFL. But he did make all 90s decade team.
Interesting.
So, he did have an impact, even though he had a short career.
Well, we can put a question mark beside him. Me jumping off the gate, because that's my position, running back. That's what I used to play growing up. So, the type of running back he was, I would say, go on and put him on in there. But let's put a question mark beside him and see what other guys we got coming in.
I also put a question mark for now. Terrell Davis, Don Cornell, and Tim Brown. All right. The next one's another head coach, and Bowden, I know you know him. We all know him. Tony Dungy.
Tony
Dungy, he coached from 1996 to 2008, 12 years. He coached, many years for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pretty much changed that franchise around when he took over in 1996. But he got fired in 2001, and then John Gruden came in 2002. The Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. But Tony Dungy went on to Indianapolis. In his career, when he went to Indianapolis, he helped the Colts turn that franchise around, and he became the first black coach to win a Super Bowl in 2006 when he led the Colts to win Super Bowl 41. And in his career, he won 139 and 69 in his career as a head coach. Those numbers alone, you can make the argument that Tony Dungy belongs in there. As a matter of fact, Tony Dungy has more wins than Don Cornell.
Put him on in there.
You think Tony Dungy belongs in there, right?
Oh yeah, especially you got to think about it. He lost his son. And then after losing the son, then going back winning the championship, that shows.
And not only that, man, it has to be said that he was the first black coach to win a Super Bowl.
Right. What about that Viking coach? I think his name was Green. You remember him?
Yeah, Denny Green, but he never won a Super Bowl. Never won a Super Bowl. Tony Dungy was the first black coach to win a Super Bowl in 2006.
So that's big. That's big right there,
And he out of all coaches, he made an all 2000s team. Now the big knock on Tony Dungy, even though he does have that one Super Bowl, but the big knock on him is that in the playoffs he didn't win too many games. Now, you take away that 1 year in 2006, Tony Dungy and the Colts in general We'll talk about this later on because his quarterback with the Colts, Peyton Manning, they don't really have that much success in the playoffs, and that's always been the biggest knock on him.
Put him on in, though.
You think he deserves to be on there? You think he deserves to be on there no matter what?
No matter what. No question mark. No question. He deserves to be there. He deserves it.
Yeah, I agree. So in the regular season, his career mark was 139 wins, 69 losses. In the playoffs, though, he had 9 wins, 10 losses. And like I said, most of those wins came in that 1 year in 2006 when they won the Super Bowl. Outside of that, you take away that 2006 year, he's 5-10 in the playoffs, which is not that great. But like you said, because of his impact and him being the first black coach to win a Super Bowl, I agree with you about no question mark whatsoever. I say go ahead, put him in there.
Sure enough.
All right, next you got Kevin Green. Kevin Green, defensive end, 2-time All-Pro. He played from 85 to 99. He played for the Rams. He played for the L.A. Rams, Pittsburgh Steelers, and San Francisco 49ers. He's right now third in NFL history in sacks. Again, he never won a Super Bowl, even though he did win a Super Bowl as an assistant coach of the Green Bay Packers. But he did play 15 years in the NFL. Like I say, he's the third all-time leader in sacks. And I do remember him because, again, we're youngins, so we grew up watching football in the 90s. I remember him more as a Pittsburgh Steeler. I don't really remember him playing for the Panthers, 49ers, and Rams. Then again, he played for the Rams in 85. But, yeah, I think he should go in there. Only just looking at his numbers and his stats, 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first-team All-Pro. He was all-90s. He made all-90s decade team. He was the 1996 Defensive Player of the Year. He has a record 160 sacks. That's a record for a linebacker. That's even more than Lawrence Taylor. Third most sacks in NFL history. He's also the oldest player in NFL history to lead the league in sacks. He led the league in sacks in 1996 at 34 years old with 14.5 sacks. His career numbers: 160 sacks, 5 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. I don't know about him. As I said, maybe I'll put Kevin Green in there.
Put him in there.
You want a question mark on that one? You just say go ahead and put him in there.
Go ahead and put him in there. I mean, defense, awesome. Surpass Lawrence Taylor. That's awesome.
Yeah, he has the most sacks for a linebacker in NFL history.
Awesome. Put him on in there.
Now, he did mess it up, though, for a lot of football players. Because of him, NFL teams started writing a no wrestling clause in their contract because people didn't like the fact that he filed the NWO in 1998 for WCW. And so because of that, teams start putting no wrestling clauses in these football players' contracts because they don't want these football players getting hurt wrestling. But with that said, man, I agree with Bowden, man. I said no question mark. I think Kevin Green gets in. So far, we have Morton Anderson, Jerome Bennett, Kevin Green, Tony Dungy as locks. We got question marks on Don Cornell and Tim Brown, and Terrell Davis. This one for me, being a Cowboys fan, no question. Next one, Charles Haley. He played from 86 to 99. He had a 11-year NFL career. He's the only player in NFL history to win 5 Super Bowls. He won 3 with the Cowboys, 2 with the 49ers. Plus, like Kevin Green, he has 100-plus sacks. And if we're going to put an emphasis on championships, he's got to be in there. He's won more championships than any other player in NFL history. Plus, I remember how dominant he was for the Cowboys because he was huge for the Cowboys during their dynasty of the 90s. I got to say, man, if you put Troy Aikman in there, you put Michael Irvin in there, you put Emmitt Smith in there, Deion Sanders in the Hall of Fame, Larry Allen's in the Hall of Fame, you got to put Charles Haley in the Hall of Fame.
Got to put him in there. Got to.
So I'm surprised. I mean, I love them great Cowboy teams in the 90s, man. I'm surprised his dad don't have more players in that Hall of Fame. But Charles Haley got to be in there. You know what I'm saying? 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, 5-time Super Bowl champion. He's in the Dallas Cowboys Ring of Honor. You know, he's in part of the 100 sack club. He has 2 interceptions for his career, 8 fumble recoveries. The only thing you can really hold against him is the fact that he's bipolar. But I don't think that has nothing to do with him playing football. I think he belongs in there and put him in the Hall of Fame.
Ain't no wrong with being a little crazy. Go and put him in the Hall of Fame.
Well, shit, to be a defensive lineman, man, you got to be crazy.
Gotta be.
Now, even though he was, according to the story, he was traded from the 49ers to the Cowboys because he got into a fight, with Steve Young. So, he whipped Steve Young's ass, so the 49ers had to trade him. But then, he came to Dallas and pretty much turned that defense around. I got to say, man, you got to put Charles Haley in there, man. I don't care what nobody else says. Charles Haley should have been there a long time ago. To me, he should be a lock. And I'd be shocked if he doesn't get in. All right, how about this one? Marvin Harrison, wide receiver for the Colts, 13-year NFL career. Him and Peyton Manning, he had 8 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons with 10 or more touchdowns, 3-time All-Pro. He won the Super Bowl in 2006 with the Colts. He set an NFL record in 2002 with 143 catches. So, again, looking at Marvin Harrison's number, even though different era, he played in the 2000s. Tim Brown more or less 80s and 90s. But Marvin Harrison has better numbers, and he won the Super Bowl. I got to put Marvin Harrison ahead of Tim Brown as far as the Hall of Fame is concerned for wide receiver.
I agree.
Yes, you agree? You put Marvin Harrison over Tim Brown?
Got to. I mean, look at his stats.
And then, he was the Colts all-time leader. I don't say he's the Colts all-time leader receiver. I don't know. I just know him and Peyton Manning back in the day, man. They just set a lot of records. And so, my personal opinion, you got to put him in there. I think he has to be in there.
Sure, you're right.
Yeah, 8-time Pro Bowler, 3-time first team, 5-time second team, Super Bowl champion. He led the NFL in receiving in 99 and 2002. He was in the NFL's all-2000s decade team. He also has 10,000 receiving yards. He holds several NFL records. He's the Colts' all-time leading receiver. Yeah, I got to put him in there.
Put him on in there.
All right, next, and this is another one near and dear to our hearts, Jimmy Johnson. He coached from 1989 to 1999. He coached the Dallas Cowboys to 2 Super Bowls in the 90s. He also coached the Miami Dolphins. Jimmy Johnson also became the first head coach to win a Super Bowl and a national championship, as he won a national championship with the University of Miami back in the 80s. And as a Cowboys fan, I say you got to put him in there. He's the one that built that Cowboy dynasty during the 90s, changed that whole franchise around from being 1-15 to Super Bowl champions. I say, man, you got to put Jimmy Johnson in there. And also, too, to me, Jimmy Johnson belongs in there, even though we agree that Tony Dungy belongs in there. I can make the argument Jimmy Johnson belongs in there more than Tony Dungy because Jimmy Johnson had the success. And not only that, Jimmy Johnson did it not only in the NFL, he also did it in college, every level.
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's I don't know. To me, it's 50-50 to me. But, when you're looking at the stat, Jimmy Johnson's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't understand why they did not put him in there.
I don't know if he's a finalist, but I hope they vote him in there because I think he deserves it. Now, I might have to change my mind. I might have to take, Tony Dungy out, put Jimmy Johnson in as far as coaches go.
I heard that.
I don't know, man.
How about them Cowboys? Hey, to the soul, Cowboy fan to the heart.
Yeah.
I see folks taking out their old Cowboy jackets now. They bringing it back.
Yeah, bring it back, come on back, man. Like I said, best good time to be a Cowboy fan, man. It's been a long time, man. It's been since 1995 we had this much excitement.
Long time coming, man.
Next on the list, man, you got John Lynch, safety for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He played 15 years in the NFL, 2-time All-Pro. He won the Super Bowl in 2002 with Tampa Bay. We all remember that Super Bowl. He just blew out Oakland. He also racked up over 1,000 tackles during his career. Warren Sapp's in the Hall of Fame. Derrick Brooks in the Hall of Fame. To me, you got to put John Lynch in the Hall of Fame. He just was pointing to that Buccaneers defense back in the day as Sapp and Brooks was. You think Lynch get in?
Put him on in there.
No, this is one a hard-hitting white boy. Now, to me, this one's hard to judge because it's hard to judge an offensive lineman because they don't have that many stats. But also you have Orlando Pace. He played 13 years in the NFL. He was a long-time St. Louis Rams left tackle, 3-time All-Pro. He led the offensive line in blocks. He won the Super Bowl in 1999 with the Rams. I don't know. To me, being a left tackle, it's hard to judge. What do you think about Orlando Pace?
Like you said, the left tackle on the offense, it's hard to judge because they don't have too many stats. But I'm going to put a question mark beside him.
All right, this one, too. I don't know, man. Okay, the next one's Bill Polian. He was the general manager. He was actually general manager from 1978 to 2011, so he's in the NFL for a long time. But he built the Buffalo Bills teams that went to 4 Super Bowls in the 90s. He also built the Indianapolis Colts teams that went to 2 Super Bowls in the 2000s. He also built the Carolina Panthers when they were an expansion team. And that roster made it to the NFC Championship game. Looking at his track record of building football teams, you can make the argument that he belongs in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if you'll get in. But he belongs in there. I mean, he did a great job in Buffalo. Everywhere he went, they won. Buffalo, Indianapolis, Carolina. Maybe we should put him in there. What do you think about a general manager going to the Hall of Fame?
Everywhere you go, he like he got a green thumb. He make champions, He make people better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it makes people better, but you can say he has an eye for talent.
Yeah.
All right, what about Junior Seau, linebacker, San Diego Chargers? Unfortunately, he's no longer here. He committed suicide 3 years ago. But Junior Seau, he played 20 years in the NFL for the San Diego Chargers and the New England Patriots. He made, he went to the Super Bowl 2 times, once in San Diego, once in New England, lost in both of them. He's a 6-time All-Pro. He's the only defensive player to play 20 years in the NFL. No other defensive players play that long. So, but to me, I think Junior Seau should go in because he's one of the best linebackers of the 90s. It's unfortunate, how he went out at the end, how his life ended. But I think, Junior Seau should go on in.
I feel the same way.
Because he was a beast back in the day. Just looking at his numbers, 12-time Pro Bowler, 8-time first-team All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro. He won the Walter Payton Man of the Year in 1994. He was the 1992 Defensive Player of the Year. He was an All-90s team. He has his number 55 retired in San Diego. He's also on the San Diego Chargers 40th year anniversary team and on the 50th year anniversary team. He had 1,849 tackles, 56.5 sacks, 18 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 21 pass deflections. Yeah, but you got to put Junior Seau on there. I think he belongs in there.
Yeah, he belongs in there. Long overdue.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to him. All right, next you got Will Shields again. Just like Orlando Pistons, a hard one to judge. He's an offensive guard on the offensive line. He played 14 years in the NFL. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know, man. To me, it's hard to judge. You think Will Shields will get in?
Like I say, yeah, put him on there, dude. I'm gonna be fair. I never played offensive line, but you had to understand when these guys put their heart out there every night, protecting that quarterback, keeping that defense back. They really have a serious job. So yeah, I'm gonna put him on in there. Put him on in there.
All right, next we got another offensive lineman. This one is way before time. This is before my mama's time. Mick Tingelhoff. He was a center for the Minnesota Vikings. He played from 1962 to 1978.
Damn. My dad was 1 year old.
Yeah, 1962 when he was drafted. He was another offensive lineman. He played center. He did help Minnesota win 10 division titles from 1968 to 1978, and he was on that Minnesota Vikings team that lost 4 Super Bowls during the 70s. Again, this is way before my time.
Oh yeah,
but damn, he retired in 1978, and they ain't put him in yet. Maybe just I think maybe he should just go in and just put him in there before. I mean, I don't know how old he is, but he's waited 37 years, man. He might as well just put him in there.
Yeah, put him on in there before it's too late.
Yeah.
So we got about like 10 people left in there, don't we?
Yeah, so we might have to cut it down.
Yeah. We're going to go back
next,
to it.
Yeah, next one we got Kurt Warner, quarterback. He played 12 years in the NFL, 2-time NFL MVP. He won the MVP in 1999 and 2001. He led the Rams to the Super Bowl in 1999 when they won the championship. He also led the Arizona Cardinals to the Super Bowl in 2008 where they lost. And to me, Kurt Warner, he's kind of weird because he had that maybe 4 or 5 year run in St. Louis where St. Louis just dominating, and then he kind of fell off, and then he rejuvenated his career for about 2 or 3 years in Arizona. So to him, it's kind of weird because he was on the top of his game, fell off, and then came back towards the end of his career. I don't know if you put Kurt Warner in. For me, he'll be a question mark. What do you think about Kurt Warner?
Kurt Warner played when Marshall Faulk was playing, right?
Yeah, that Rams team that won the Super Bowl back in '99.
Yeah, and Marshall Faulk retired right after that. When Marshall Faulk retired, like around 2003, 2006?
Marshall Faulk retired in 2006.
2006. Okay. Oh no,
Kurt Warner retired in 2010.
Oh, he just left. He just got it. That's 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Question mark, man. How many Super Bowls he won?
Just one. He won one Super Bowl in '99. He did win 2 MVPs. He won the MVP in '99 and 2001. And he was a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time First Team All Pro. So he does have. He's the only player to have 100 touchdown passes with 2 different teams. He threw 100 touchdowns when he was with the Rams. He threw 100 touchdowns when he was with the Cardinals. And he does have the record. He does have the record for most yards in the Super Bowl. To me, he's a question mark. He's a question mark.
Why do you say that?
I mean, like I said, his numbers are great. Don't get me wrong. But my thing is, like I said, in the beginning of his career, he was great. Those Rams teams of the late '90s, early 2000s, they were great teams. They should have won 2 Super Bowls in my opinion. Because I think they should have beat New England in 2001. That's a whole other conversation. But okay, he only has that 1 Super Bowl. And then, but to me, man, he had a great year in St. Louis. He had maybe a good, maybe 4 or 5 years in St. Louis. Then after that, for whatever reason, his career just fell off. I mean, he just fell off the face of the earth. And all of a sudden, in 2008, he came out of nowhere and just rejuvenated his career in Arizona. He had a good, 2-3 year run in Arizona before he retired. So you have the beginning of his career where he was great. The middle of his career was, okay. And then at the end of his career, he was great again. So to me, I don't know if you put him in it. And plus, you're looking at other quarterbacks of his era. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, who are still playing right now. And I think when they retire, you might have to put him in before him. So I don't know. To me, it's a question mark. I mean, statistically, he deserves to be in. But for right now, just put him a question mark. Because, I mean, honestly, can you ask yourself, is Kurt Warner one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks of all time?
Oh, no. I mean, that's a good question for you. From the era of 2000 to 2015, or from 1990 to 2015, who would you feel is an all-time great quarterback? The first
yeah,
five.
and that's the thing. See, okay, let's not go too far. This is a Kurt Warner's generation, right? He played from 98 into 2010. All right. So you look at all the quarterbacks from 98 to 2010. A lot of them still playing, like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady.
He's too young.
Then, you know, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Kurt Warner will put a question mark on that one for now.
Gotcha.
All right, and last but not least, you have Ron Wolf. Ron Wolf was talk about being in the NFL for a long time. He was in the NFL from '63 to 2001. He started his career in 1963 as a scout for the Oakland Raiders, but he's most remembered. He also was a scout for the Raiders. He won 3 Super Bowls with the Raiders back in '76, '80, and '83. 83. But he's also most remembered because he helped build that Green Bay Packers team in the '90s that won the Super Bowl back in 1996.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, so I think Ron Wolf is in the same category as Bill Polian, even though you could agree that as a general manager and a scout, he's actually had more success than Bill Polian, because Bill Polian, even though he built those teams in Buffalo, Indianapolis, and Carolina, so he won 1 Super Bowl. Ron Wolf, he built 4 Super Bowl champions, 3 in Oakland, 1 in Green Bay. So as a general manager, I'll put him in before Bill Polian.
Right, put him in.
So you think Ron Wolf deserves to be in?
Oh, yeah.
And again, Ron Wolf, same thing with the guy from Minnesota. You got to put him in before it's too late, man. He started his career in 1963. Again, that's before my mother was born.
1963. Man. Wasn't even thought of.
My mother wasn't even thought of.
Yeah, my dad was 3.
All right. So now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Our picks and predictions for this weekend's games.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm saying? And we last week's game, I went a perfect 4-0 because I'm on top of my shit. 4-0, baby. 4-0. Now, if you listen to me and you gambled, you would have won some bread last week. I went undefeated. Now, as for Master Bowden over here, he went 3-1. You know, and that's because he was high on that stuff, picking the Bengals to beat the Colts last week. Now, what the hell was you smoking last week? Picking Cincinnati. Knowing damn well Cincinnati didn't win a playoff game since 1990. All right, man, let's start off with the AFC. We'll start off with Saturday's matchup. We have the Baltimore Ravens versus the New England Patriots. The Patriots are coming into this game as 7-point favorites. They are tied with Seattle with the best record in the NFL. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC. This is the 4th playoff meeting between these 2 teams. The Ravens are 2-1 against the Patriots all the time in the playoffs. They really should be 3-0 if Steve Evans hadn't dropped that ball in the end zone in 11. Tom Brady always struggles against the Ravens defense. If I was to bet on this game, I'll take the Ravens +7 because I feel like it's going to be a very close game. I don't think New England's going to dominate like everybody thinks they're going to do. And also, too, I think the Ravens are going to pull off the upset this weekend. I'm taking Baltimore to win this game. 1,000. What do you think about Ravens versus Patriots?
I hate the Patriots with a passion. I passionately hate them Patriots. I love them Baltimore Ravens, and I hope the Ravens do their thing. And I'm going for the Ravens to win and beat the Patriots.
Now, I agree with you. I think Baltimore's going to win. Now, if you're a Patriots fan or if you just think New England's going to win, one thing that worked against Baltimore in the argument for you is, okay, Ray Lewis ain't walking through that door. Ed Reed ain't walking through that door. And one of the players that the Patriots cannot stop is Ray Rice. Ray Rice used to run all over that Patriots defense. We all know the situation with Ray Rice. He ain't walking through that door either. But with all that being said, I feel like Baltimore to win this game. And Bowden, I know you hate the Patriots, so I know you agree. You got Baltimore to pick the upset of the weekend, right?
So you right. show you right. I'm telling you. And plus, on top of that, don't you know Aaron Hernandez is going to court this weekend? Not this weekend, but next week.
Well, next week they're picking the jury today. And,
so
Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft, the owner and the coach, they're going to be witnesses in that trial.
Yeah, too much going on. They head ain't all the way in the game. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Baltimore's bound to beat the New England. They bound to beat. I mean, go Baltimore. Let's do the thing. Let's do it, baby. If Ray Lewis anywhere in the building, you know they gotta win. You know, Ray Lewis gonna tell them. Gonna get a croak in that locker room. I'll never forget that locker room speak. And them boys won the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Oh man, I don't know what Ray Lewis got inside him, but what he got inside him, he motivated the mess out that team. He told them to push it to the limit, no excuse, no exception, and we're gonna get it. We the better team. We the better team. We the better team. Get up. We the better team. Get up. We the better team. Get up. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. And them boys went out there and beat I don't know what about them boys, man. Shouts out to the Ravens. Shouts out to them.
All right, well, the other matchup in the AFC, you got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning become the first quarterback since 1980 to play against the team that he helped win the Super Bowl with in the playoffs. Broncos come to this game as 7-point favorites. To me, all the pressure in this game is on Peyton Manning. As great as Peyton Manning has been in his career, the only player in NFL history to win 5 MVPs, as much as people want to say that Peyton Manning is the greatest quarterback to ever play in football, Peyton Manning is the losingest quarterback in playoff history. I repeat, Peyton Manning is the losingest quarterback in playoff history. No quarterback in the history of this game has lost more playoff games than Peyton Manning.
He folded under pressure.
Yeah, so, I mean, as great as Peyton Manning is in the regular season, not that great in the playoffs. And let's be real, his brother, Eli, as much as people want to talk bad about him, Eli has more Super Bowls than Peyton, and Eli is a better quarterback in the playoffs. And statistically, Eli is one of the best playoff quarterbacks ever. But with all that being said, I like Denver to win this game, and if I was a better, I'll take Denver in the 7 points. I think Denver will win this game regardless. But the pressure has to be on Peyton Manning. So I think the Colts are playing with house money here. About who you got in this game.
I think I'm gonna go with my boy Inspectah Ant, man. I'm gonna go with Denver, man, because I think his predictions is pretty right on. I'm gonna go with him on. I'm gonna go for Denver.
Even though Peyton Manning struggles in the playoffs, because we all know what happened last year when the Broncos in the playoffs, and we all remember that Super Bowl, that ass when they got.
I mean, because they know he can't handle the pressure, so they blitz. He can't handle that blitz. He can't handle it. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the Broncos are gonna win. But I don't think the Colts have enough to beat Denver on the road. You know, Andrew Luck is an up-and-coming quarterback in this league. I think the Colts are an up-and-coming team, but I think Denver's just too much for them at this point in time. Next year, maybe a different story. This year, I give it to Denver. All right, so we both agree it's going to be Baltimore versus Denver in the AFC Championship game. We've got Baltimore beating New England, and we both got Denver beating Indianapolis. Let's now move on to the NFC. And on the NFC side, we're going to start off with Saturday's game. We'll start with Saturday's game between the Carolina Panthers versus the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are trying to become the first team in 10 years to win back-to-back Super Bowls. It has not happened in 10 years when the New England Patriots won back-to-back. Seattle's trying to become the first team in 10 years to do it. The Seahawks come to this game as 11-point favorites, but the last 3 times these teams have played each other, the games have been low-scoring and close. We're looking at 2 top 5 defenses here. Seattle's the number 1 defense in the league, and I think Carolina's also in the top 5 in defense, especially over the last month. Both teams have played just ridiculous defense. You can't even score on any of these teams. So with that being said, I think Carolina has no shot to win this game at all. I think Carolina doesn't even stand a chance to win this game, to be honest with you. The Panthers are not that good. All right, I'm just going to be honest, they're not that good. Yeah, I know they blew out New Orleans. All right, I know they blew out the Falcons. I know they beat up on the Cardinals last week. But let's just be real. All right, let's take a timeout, take a deep breath, and let's be real and honest with ourselves, okay? The Saints are garbage. The Falcons suck. The Cardinals were playing with their third-string quarterback who only mustered up 78 yards of total offense, the lowest offensive production in NFL history. All right? Me and Bowden could have played quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, and he could have did a better job than Rocket. All right? So, yeah, Carolina beat Arizona. That's not really nothing to be proud of. All right? This week, you are playing Super Bowl champions. All right? Seattle ain't messing around. I think Seattle's going to take it to that ass. You're going to see why Carolina's a 7-win team for a reason. And Seattle's going to show you why you guys were a 7-win team for a reason. I'm taking Seattle to dominate this game. I think it's going to be a blowout. I know history shows that, you got two great defenses. I know history shows it's going to be a low-scoring game. But I think Seattle wins this game easily. Now, if I'm a Panthers fan, history works in your favor because no Super Bowl champion has won a playoff game since 2005. But I think Seattle breaks that streak this week. Seattle's going to win the playoff game. They're going to whoop Carolina's ass. If I'm betting, I'm taking Seattle and the 11 points. I think they're going to win by more than 11. I easily see this game being like 34-13, especially with the way Carolina played last week against Arizona. You play that way again against Seattle, it's over. I'm taking Seattle to win this game. I know you represent the South. I know you went to college in Charlotte. So you give Carolina a chance to be the Super Bowl champion.
I was thinking to myself, everything you said was pretty right on. But I'm thinking to myself, man, I hope Carolina at least scratch they behind. You know what I'm saying? I hope they at least scratch it. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go.
They look really sniffy.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go for the underdog. I'm gonna go with the Panthers, man. I'm gonna go with Carolina.
What?
I'm gonna go.
You do realize Seattle's the Super Bowl champion,
right? I realize that, but I'm gonna go with. Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the Panthers, man. Cause that's home team. That's home team. I'm gonna see what. Hopefully they might pull it off. You never know. And y'all make sure y'all come back to the show so y'all can see what's going on.
Yeah, I think Val's smoking that stuff again.
Hey, give him the phone number.
He's smoking it again. So yeah, if you want to call in and tell Val how much of a dumbass he is, just go ahead and call in at 347-826-7068. And again, if you want to call in and tell Val and lay off them drugs, call in at 347-826-7068. So Val is really, really sticking Carolina to upset the Seahawks.
I'm gonna stick with Carolina, man. Shout out to Cam Newton, man. Do your thing, man. Do your thing, boy. Do your thing.
Cam Newton never beat metal in his career.
Hopefully he'll pull one out this Sunday.
All right, we'll see. All right, last but not least. All right, we have the early game on Sunday. We have the Dallas Cowboys.
How about them Cowboys?
Versus the Green Bay Packers.
Oh,
Big story heading into this game. Aaron Rodgers is torn calf muscle. This is the 7th playoff meeting between these two legendary franchises. The Cowboys are 4-2 all-time against the Packers in the playoffs. It is the first time these two teams have played each other in Lambeau Field since the 1967 Ice Bowl. The Packers come into this game as 6-point favorites. It's the first time in NFL history you have a team that's undefeated on the road, which is the Dallas Cowboys, taking on a team that's undefeated at home, which is the Green Bay Packers. Unfortunately, somebody has to lose, so somebody's winning streak is going to go down. It's going to be the Cowboys winning streak or the Packers winning streak. Somebody's going to lose this game. And as much as people are talking bad about how the Cowboys defense is, suspect, which they are, I'm not going to lie, let's not sit here and act like the Packers defense hasn't really been that much better either. But both teams are giving up 22 points per game. With that being said, I know it's going to be cold. I know it's going to be colder than polar bear balls in this game. It's supposed to be negative 2 degrees. They said the temperature might go up as high as 4 degrees. So if the highest is going to go is 4 degrees and the lowest is going to go is negative 9, it's going to be cold as shit. That's what I got to say. It's going to be cold as hell in Green Bay this weekend. But with that being said, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game because both of these defenses are not that good. And I know people say, I am a Cowboys fan. I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. And so, you might say there's a little bias here because I'm a Cowboys fan. But putting my fandom aside, I really think, Bowden, the Cowboys have a great shot at winning this game. They have a great shot at going down to Green Bay. Despite the fact it's going to be cold as hell. Not even cold as hell. It's going to be cold as monkey ball. Cold as polar bear ball. It's going to be cold. At 4 degrees ain't no joke. So it's going to be cold, but I still think Cowboys have a great shot at winning this game. The Cowboys have the best running game in the NFL. DeMarco Murray leads the NFL in rushing. The offensive line they're the best offensive line in the league. The Cowboys, what they want to do is they want to run that football 40 times down your throat. Green Bay's defense struggles to stop the run. Plus, Aaron Rodgers is not 100%. If I'm betting on the game, I'll take the Cowboys plus the 6 points. Plus, I'm taking Dallas to pull up the upset. And also, Chris Christie announced today that he's going to be at the game on Sunday. And the Cowboys have not lost a game since Chris Christie started going to Cowboys games. Since Chris Christie's been going to Cowboys games, the Cowboys are undefeated, which means Chris Christie, the Cowboys' lucky charm, he's going to be at the game on Sunday. And the Cowboys will make it 6-0 when Chris Christie goes to the game. I'm taking Dallas in the upset. They're beating Green Bay, and then moving on to the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1995. Bowden, you grew up me and Chris Christie. Who you got in this game?
How about them Cowboys? And shouts out to Chris Christie, Governor Christie. Well, shouts out to Chris Christie. You got our vote for the president 2016. We voted for you. I'm voting Republican. I'm voting Republicans of Chris Christie. He keep it real. Shouts out to New Jersey.
I don't care what party Chris Christie part of. I vote for him regardless. He's a Cowboys lucky charm. He shouldn't get in Jersey. He should move to Dallas and go to every Cowboys game there is. Cowboys go undefeated.
How about them Cowboys?
Every game Chris Christie goes to, the Cowboys win. Chris Christie will be at the game, so that means the Cowboys are going to win. Hopefully, Chris Christie uses political power to pay off, the referees again and guarantee another win for Dallas.
So you right. How about them Cowboys?
So about your best, who got in this game, man? Break it down.
Dallas Cowboys.
He's picking the upset. Battle, man. So, man, MB, man, you picking 3 upsets, man. 3. So, last week I went 4-0, perfect 4-0. Battle last week went 3-1 in the wild card round. This week in the AFC, I'm taking Baltimore to beat New England. I'm taking Denver to beat Indianapolis. I'm taking Seattle to beat Carolina. I'm taking Dallas to beat Green Bay. Bowden. He's picking Baltimore to beat New England. We agree there. He's also taking Denver to beat Indianapolis. We agree there. He's taking Carolina to beat Seattle. That's where we disagree. And he's taking Dallas to beat Green Bay. We agree there.
So you're right.
So again, if you want to gamble on the game, I think you should listen to me and take my pick and take it to the bank. I won you some money last week. I think I'm going to win you some more money this week. Now, if you want crack, you can take Bowden's pick, take that to the bank. You might lose like you lost last week. So we'll see. I can't even get over that. You taking Carolina beat Seattle.
Hey man, you know Kim Newton, man, he a magical man. You know, he pulled a rabbit out of the hat. You know, so I got a little faith in this, and maybe he'll do his thing.
Against the defending champion.
Against the defending champion. Yes.
Wow.
I believe in them counselors. 704 Charlotte, Queen City, stand up. Queen City, stand up. We're gonna go all the way with it.
Yeah, I think Seattle might start my Queen City this week. I don't see Carolina, stand a chance. So I think Seattle gonna raw dog. I mean, I know you represent the South, man, but the Bowden, the South ain't been good all year. Like I said, man, I know Carolina has been playing good these last couple of weeks, but you gotta look at who they beaten. They beaten New Orleans, crappy team. They beat Atlanta, crappy team. They beat Arizona, who's playing with their third-string quarterback. If Arizona's playing with their second-string quarterback, probably would have won that game. Now, if Arizona playing with their first-string quarterback, probably would have blown them out. To me, Carolina, they're a losing team. Only won 7 games all year. And they're like Bill Parcells used to say, you are what your record says you are. And they're a losing team for a reason. And I don't really see them having a chance against Seattle.
So, where they playing? They playing in Carolina or they playing in Seattle?
No, they're playing in Seattle. The
Are you saying whoever wins? Well, hold on, come again. So the Panthers going to Seattle.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Seattle has home field advantage in the NFC.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, oh man. I don't know. I think they still might pull it off though, but it'd be even better if Seattle was coming to Charlotte. Then they were like, okay. But since Charlotte going to Seattle, it made me kind of want to change the story up. But I'm gonna stick with my guns. I'm gonna stick with my gun. I'm gonna go with the Panthers. I'm gonna go with Carolina. They might pull it, like I said. Kim Newton, he worked magic. He pulled a rabbit out of the hat. He surprised you every time.
All right, but me and you, we both agree though on Dallas Green Bay. We still think,
yeah, tell you right.
Yeah, we think Dallas gonna beat Green Bay. I still think it's a close game. Green Bay's too good to get blown out. But I'm not saying this as a Cowboys fan. I honestly believe, just looking at it from an objective point of view, that you take into the fact that the Packers can't stop the run. Aaron Rodgers hurt. I just think everything's set up for Dallas to win this game. And I know we joke around, but it got to be something to that Chris Christie thing, man. The Cowboys have not lost since Chris Christie jumped on the bandwagon. The Cowboys, just keep winning. So Chris Christie must be that lucky charm. Everybody get off his back too. Get off his back. Everybody hating on him, but look, man, he lucky charm. He lucky charm. And because everybody's hating on him because he's going to all the New York Giants games. The Giants made this Super Bowl run 3 years ago. But guess what? The Giants won the Super Bowl that year, right?
Right.
Who's Chris Christie rooting for this year? Cowboys. So, I mean, hey, he was looking charm for the New York Giants. Hopefully Chris Christie will be looking charm for the Dallas Cowboys. And hopefully, Jerry Jones, whatever, pays off the referees again. Hopefully the Cowboys throw another party for the referees. That'll work in our favor too. That works in the Cowboys' favor as well. But this week, I don't even think they need a referee. So I think Green Bay's trained up with Aaron Rodgers. Even though the Packers running back Eddie Lacy does care, that's a big boy out of Alabama. But I just think that Packers defense is suspect. Even the Cowboys defense is suspect too. I'd be scared of that pass defense because Aaron Rodgers don't need to run in close football. So, but we'll see what happens. I still think that Dallas is gonna pull it off, and I also think Baltimore's gonna upset New England. Baltimore always gives New England trouble. People think that Baltimore might stand a chance against New England, but I think Baltimore pull it off. I know everybody wants to ride on Tom Brady. Call him the Golden Boy. I think Baltimore get after Tom Brady, put pressure on him, give him happy feet. I think Tom Brady probably throw a couple interceptions like he always does against Baltimore. Even though they do got to slow down Rob Gronkowski, the tight end, Gronk. But I still think Baltimore's going to win this game. I know my homegirl, Cherry, she would be mad at me because she's a diehard Patriots fan. But I'm just keeping it real. I think it's Baltimore. I think it's going to be a close game, too. Those games are always close. Except for in 2012, Baltimore went to New England, just blew them out. Plus, Joe Flacco, everybody hates on him, calling him an overrated quarterback, but it is what he is. I mean, he has 8 playoff wins on the road. Most playoff wins on the road for a quarterback in NFL history. That's to say something, man. 10-4 all time in the playoffs. I mean, the Baltimore Ravens as a team to turn to a whole another team when playoffs come. I really think Baltimore's going to win this game. I honestly do think Baltimore's going to win this game.
I feel the same way too. I hope for the best for Baltimore. I want them to win. I really don't want I do not like the Patriots at all, man. I just can't stand them.
Yeah, I'm right with you, man. I don't have to hate the Patriots as you do, but I can't stand them either. I can't. They put New England on this pedestal all the time, man. It's annoying. It's annoying. Even though I did not take into consideration the whole Aaron Hernandez thing, how that might affect the Patriots. You think that'll play effect on them?
Oh yeah, that's what I said. I think that's going to affect the flow, the momentum, because you got the GM and you got the head coach on support. They got to think about all that mess. It's kind of hard to block that out. When come Monday, Tuesday, you got to be in court testifying on his behalf. Caldwell. I think that's going to play a factor in this game. Hopefully, so my team, Ravens, they can win.
All right, now we're going to switch it up. I know today's Football Friday, but we have some, I guess there's some major news. The U.S. Olympic Committee has selected Boston to represent the United States for the 2014 Olympic bid. Excuse me, 2024, the 2024 Olympic bid. There's rumors that it might be D.C., but we know the issue in D.C. The rumors either be D.C. or L.A. They've decided to go with Boston, which kind of surprised me. So, Val, what do you think about Boston potentially hosting the 2024 Olympics?
I think they should do it in L.A.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but they're picking Boston.
Boston had that Boston Marathon bombing in D.C., the D.C. sniper. And I just feel...
The sniper, man, that was 12 years ago.
12 years ago.
3 years ago. And it's not like, L.A. hasn't had any issues either. But, I mean, again, we're talking about the Olympics here. Anytime we talk about the Olympics, we're talking about an international event. So, just like we had in Atlanta back in '96 with the bomb threat during those Olympics, make it happen anywhere. But overall, Boston is a city. And I know it's the summertime, so I don't think the weather will play a factor. But to me, man, I don't know, man, playing the Olympics in Boston doesn't really make it moist. it's not really a place I'll be excited to go to.
I think they should do it in L.A.
I agree, but the United States Olympic Committee they're picking Boston. So Boston will go against Rome. They'll go against Hamburg, Germany. They'll also go against Paris, France, and the Olympic Committee will choose out of those cities in 2012. I'm like way behind on time. They'll choose which city will host the 2024 Olympics and 2017. Originally, the rumor was going to be D.C., New York, L.A., or Chicago. Me personally, I would have went with either New York or L.A., maybe even Chicago. But the United States Olympic Committee is going with Boston. So out of the cities in the running, Boston, Rome, Italy, Hamburg, Germany, Paris, France, or Hungary, which city you think should get the Olympics in 2024?
Repeat that one more time. All
right, you got Boston, right? For the United States, it's Boston. For Italy, you have Rome. For Germany, it's going to be Hamburg. Then you have Paris, France. For France, it's going to be Paris. And then you got Hungary.
I would go with Boston. I would go with Boston out of all there. Yeah. Do it at home in Boston. Which one you would go with?
I'll probably go with Rome, only because the Romans, with the whole gladiators and stuff like that.
Right.
Like ancient times, man. Just, give it to Rome.
Right.
Because out of all the cities here in the United States, I still would have went with New York or L.A. or maybe Chicago. Boston. Right. I don't know. But out of the cities in the running, I have to go with Rome. I think Rome was one of those ancient cities that used to have the Olympics back in the day. Back in ancient time, like before Christ, B.C. With the Romans and the gladiators. I like to see it in Rome.
Take it back to the history, the tradition, right?
Yeah. Are you entertained? Are you not entertained? Yeah, man, I'll go Rome. But you stick with Boston, you should bring it back to the United States, and you should bring it back to the United States.
I like I said, I really would like to see it in L.A. Boston, seems like it's all out to wait. D.C. would be nice too to have the Olympics in D.C. And more people traveling from up north to down south. It's closer.
Well, for me, I look at it more from an international standpoint. Again, it's the Olympics. You have people all over the world. But me, from somebody, like, let's say if I'm coming from, Australia, I'd rather see, I'll be more excited to see, explore New York or L.A. or Chicago more than I would, Boston.
Yeah. Well, Boston have a lot of history that, American history-wise,
Yeah. But, just as a tourist spot, I'm not really feeling Boston, so I'm kind of surprised that, the United States would choose Boston to rep over the other cities. Out of the cities they were going to choose from, it was Los Angeles, San Francisco, D.C., New York, and Chicago, and the United States decided to go with Boston out of those cities.
Mm.
And to me, San Francisco would have been a perfect spot too, because with San Francisco, you could just use the whole entire Bay Area. So, out of their choices, I was really surprised they went with Boston.
Hmm.
So I guess Boston will be representing the United States. Very interesting. Now, even though 2024 does sound like a long time away, man, I wouldn't mind going to the Olympics. Just check it out. I've never been to an Olympic event before.
Me either. The Olympics was in 1996. It was in Atlanta. They had Atlanta, but they had Olympic bombings
Yeah, 96 in Atlanta. 2000 was in Sydney, Australia.
Right.
2004, you had in Athens, Greece. 2008 was in Beijing, China. And then the last Olympics, 2012, was in London. And then the next Olympics will be in 2016, which will be in Brazil. So right now they're going to be voting for who gets the 2024 Olympics, which is 9 years from now.
So run that one more time. Run it one more time.
Run what one more time?
Where they want to have it at? Where they 2024.
All right, so
Boston,
in 20,
Germany, Hamburg,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, so in 2017, the International Olympic Committee will vote to see who will get the 2024 game. So they're not even going to vote on it until 2017, which is 2 years from now. But today, the United States selected Boston to represent, the U.S. So the cities in the running will be Boston, Rome, Hamburg, Paris, or Hungary.
Yeah, I would say Paris, but all this terrorist stuff going on. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, nah.
Yeah, but to me, the terrorist thing can't really play a factor into it. Because like I said, man, this is an international event, and so regardless whether it's in Boston, Rome, Hamburg, Hungary, Paris, I mean, you're gonna have a situation regardless because you're having people from all over the world come to this one city for this event, and so anytime you have a world event, the risk of a terrorist attack is always higher.
Yeah.
To me, if I'm voting on it, man, I can't really think like that.
Right.
I think the Olympics, they're looking at it as where can I make the most money. I think I think you're right, man. Maybe from a money standpoint, you could Paris, because Paris is a world-around city. Everybody all over the world knows about Paris.
Right.
Hamburg, maybe not so much. Maybe Berlin would be the sexy pick coming from Germany, but I choose Hamburg. And then, like I said, for me, I'll pick Rome and Italy. Or from a historical perspective, I think Rome would be perfect. And if the United States, I mean, I'm still not really feeling Boston. I'm really surprised the U.S. chose Boston. And then Hungary, I mean, I don't even know what the hell's in that country, so I can't even speak on Hungary.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting. I wonder what they're gonna come up with during 2017.
Well, in 2017 they're making the vote.
Right.
So we'll see what happens in 2024.
2024.
I mean, if Boston gets the Olympics in 2024, again, I know it's 9 years from now, but if they get it, I wouldn't mind attending. It'll be something, I wouldn't mind seeing. Plus, like you said, that'd be right here in U.S. soil. And it'll be nothing but a flight away. And Boston, they do have some facilities where you can have an event. They can, where the Patriots play, they can change that into like a track and field stadium or something like that. You can use it for soccer. Of course, I know they don't have baseball in the Olympics anymore, but you do have the Fenway Park is where the Red Sox play. For all the indoor activities, you can use it where the Celtics play. For the basketball and the volleyball and stuff like that. But I just think the other cities that they could have chose from here in the United States are probably more ready for it than Boston is. I think Boston might have to build some stuff just to get ready for the Olympics. Even from what I'm seeing here, though, it looks like the president supports Boston trying to get the Olympics. Which surprised me also seeing that he's from Chicago. You think he would pick Chicago.
Right. Governor Kilpatrick, he's a Patriot, ain't it, Patrick?
Well, he's locked up right now.
Of Boston? Not Boston, but of Massachusetts.
Oh, I think something about the mayor of Detroit.
Oh no, I probably said the wrong name. What was the governor of Massachusetts?
Let me pull that up for you. See. Mitt Romney's he's from that area.
Yeah, he's a senator, right?
I think he used to be the governor. I'm not sure what he's doing now.
Right. Mitt Romney getting to that money.
Yeah, man. Boston, largest city in the New England area.
What the world would have been like if he became president back in 2012, right? Probably the same.
Probably. Probably. I don't see that much. Okay, so the mayor of Boston is Marty Walsh. As far as the governor of Massachusetts, the governor of Massachusetts, you have Charlie Baker.
Charlie Baker.
Yes.
That's a new governor, ain't it? They just got him in there. They did have a governor election passed today.
Yeah, he became the governor yesterday.
Yeah, who was the previous governor though?
Deval Patrick.
Deval Patrick. That's what I was calling that. Deval Patrick. I think he was the first African American governor in Massachusetts. That's what I was thinking that was probably the reason why they brought him.
Yeah, he was. He was there. He was the governor for 8 years.
Uh-oh.
All right, so, man, it's about that time, man. So, Bowden, before we get out of here, any shout-outs you want for today?
Shouts out to the creator of Blog Talk Radio, man. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to all the Americans, all the Black, white, Hispanic, Latino. Shouts out to all the Americans, and just stay positive and keep the peace. Stay positive and keep the peace.
All right, for me, man, my shout out today would just be for the Dallas Cowboys. Hope you guys get it done. Also to Chris Christie. Don't let people affect you, man. I like the fact that you stand true to yourself. You're not gonna buckle down to public pressure. You're gonna go to the Cowboys game anyway. So also like to a shout out to Bart Starr. Today's his 81st birthday, man. The legendary quarterback for the Green Bay Packers back in the 60s. He won. He was the MVP of Super Bowl 1 and 2, and I heard that he's not doing well health-wise. So shout out to him, and we are out. We'll see you guys on Monday. We'll break down all the playoff action, and have a nice weekend.
Out.